In today's video, I have 4 records from 2020 and 2 from the 90s. And first up, we have this one. This is A Legacy of Kings by Hammerfall. And this was released in 98 through Nuclear Blast, and it was one of the first metal records I heard, except for Metallica and Guns N' Roses. Even Guns N' Roses, not metal. But I must have been around 14 years old at the time, and one day when I was listening to it in my room, my mom came in and asked if I listened to Europe. And at the time, I thought Europe was one of the lamest bands. Obviously, I stopped listening to Hammerfall from that point forwards. However, I saw this and the other one I'm going to show on Facebook Marketplace for $2 or $3, so I had to have it. And since I got it, I have listened to it maybe 15 times, and it's 10 tracks and 45 minutes of cheesy sing-along metal, and it's awesome. The production is stellar, and the vocals are from Joachim Kahns. It's so cheesy, and the lyrics, it's excellent stuff. And Heeding the Call, Legacy of Kings, Dreamland, and Back to Back are my favorites. But the other tracks are pretty good too. Even the ballad Remember Yesterday. I'm not really sure though why they put out yet another ballad at that's the very last track. One is enough, but other than that, there are not much to complain about. But it's probably a lot of nostalgia. If I would have heard this for the first time today, I would probably not hold it in as high regard as I do now. And the debut Glory to the Brave is also good, so check out Hammerfall Legacy of Kings if you have not heard it. Next up we have Infinite by Stratovarius, and I really don't remember how I came in contact with Stratovarius for the first time, but I do remember pre-ordering this back in '99 when it was released. I thought it was their best release up until that time, and I went away from power metal afterwards, and can't say that I remember ever listening to anything after Infinite, but it's very synth heavy, cheesy power metal with falsetto vocals, and it's excellent stuff. This one also, the opener Hunting High and Low is probably the best track, but the rest are also good, especially Phoenix and Freedom. And it's 10 tracks once again, and it clocks in at 54 minutes, but it's quite diverse and very catchy most of the time. Sure, there are some bits that are not top notch, but it's probably nostalgia once more, but I really enjoy this one too. So check out Infinite by Stratovarius. Moving away from the 90s to some 2020 releases, and this is Cold Logic by the band Shards of Humanity, and this is pretty far from Hammerfall and Stratovarius. It was released back in April through Unspeakable Acts Records and Dark Descent, and the band is from Memphis, Tennessee, and was formed in 2009, and Cold Logic is the band's second full-length. I haven't heard their debut, but on Cold Logic the music could be described as a hybrid of Coroner and Later Era Death with some Morbid Angel thrown into the mix. It's very intense, and the riffs are awesome, and the production is very clear without sounding too polished. And it contains 10 tracks, and has a running time of around 34 minutes, which is perfect. And the 7th track is an instrumental piece that I maybe could have skipped, but other than that, all songs are very strong. So if you like Coroner or Death, or thrash death metal in general, check out Shards of Humanity. Now for some vinyl. This is V by Havoc. It was released in May through Century Media, and Havoc was formed in 2004 in Denver, Colorado, and V is obviously their fifth full length. And I have just briefly listened to the bands prior to ordering this record. Nothing. I can't remember anything. Quite unremarkable band until I listened to a couple of tracks for this one and read some reviews, so I picked this one up, and it's good. The record contains 11 songs and has a running time of 45 minutes, but the thing is, the record does not have anything that really stands out. It's mostly just, it's there. It's not especially memorable. The music is very similar to late 80s Metallica, especially And Justice for All, and mixed with Megadeth and Overkill maybe, but with very, very, very clean and polished production and 80s German thrash vocals on top of that. And it's mostly mid-paced with some occasional breakdowns, and they're all pretty good riffs here and there, and it's just not that memorable, except for the last song, Don't Do It. It's the longest track, it's 8 minutes long, but after the first 5 minutes it really kicks up the pace, and it sounds like Death Angel have been a huge inspiration for that song, and it's much better than the rest of the record. And if they could have stripped down, maybe made the record 35 minutes long and disconnected the breaks sometimes a little bit more and a little bit more memorable, this would have been much better. But the bass guitar is very audible, and that's always a good thing. You get a lyric insert and a poster of the album artwork, and the record is on standard black vinyl. About a week prior to Havoc's release, countermates Warbringer also released their fifth record called Weapons of Tomorrow through Napalm Records. And like with Havoc, I have never really gotten into the band, but as opposed to Havoc, Warbringer brings a lot more aggression and intensity. And Weapons of Tomorrow contains 10 tracks and is almost 51 minutes long, but it's very diverse. There are a bunch of fast-paced thrash bangers like Firepower Kills, Crushed Beneath the Tracks and Unraveling, and some slower ones like The Black Hand Reaches Out and Power Unsurpassed, and even some more leanings towards melodic melodic black metal, like on Defiance of Fate and especially Heart of Darkness. And even though there are a lot of tracks that's very different from each other, there's always a red thread. Can you say that in English? Röd tråd. And nothing sounds out of place, and the bandmaster all styles presented. And this is excellent stuff. One of my favorite thrash metal releases from 2020. It's a gatefold, and you have the lyrics on the inside. The record is on standard black vinyl. When steel is so strong, flesh is obsolete. Ever grinding forward, never look back. All stand aside, crushed beneath the tracks. Lastly, we have this one. This is The Funeral Pyre by Kvän. And I have already shown this CD version in a video maybe 6 months ago, but recently picked up the vinyl version and feel like people are missing out on this band. So Kvän is a solo project by Jakob Björnfot, and The Funeral Pyre is the debut full length, and was released by Black Lion Records back in February. And Björnfot does everything on the record except for drums, which is done by 4 different guys. And Sebastian Ramstedt from Necrophobic contributes with a exquisite guitar solo on the title track, and Matt Wiklund does the same on the last track, Hymn to Kvenland. And the music is, at its base, is 90s melodic black metal with some Destroyer 666 thrown into the mix, with some speed metal, and it's excellent stuff. It's 45 minutes and contains 8 tracks, and all tracks are great, but my favorite is the first track, Revenge by Fire. It's just top-notch stuff. I actually ordered a shirt last week with the Revenge by Fire print. The record is single jacket, and I got it signed. I ordered it straight from the man himself. You get a lyric insert. And the record is on standard black vinyl. And Black Lion Records just posted that it's sold out, but they will repress it. And like with Migwa, there will be no difference between the presses. So you can pick this one up even if it's sold out. So you should pick this one up, because it's one of the best of this year. That was it. So thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.